It was a late Friday afternoon when I returned home after a long week, eager to relax in my garage while listening to some music and tinkering with my tools. I had just started a new playlist, cranking the volume to a level that made the garage walls hum, when I noticed a commotion at the front gate. HOA Karen, clipboard in hand and face red with indignation, was stomping furiously toward my garage, her teenage son trailing behind, recording the scene as if it were a major news event. "Turn that music down," she shouted. "You're violating HOA rules. I'm calling the police." I paused, wiping my hands on a rag, and smiled calmly. "Karen, this is my private property. My music is entirely within legal limits. You are trespassing and harassing me." Her son muttered nervously, "Mom, maybe we shouldn't—" "Quiet," she snapped. "Rules are rules. You'll pay for this." Lisa appeared behind me, radiating calm authority. "Ma'am, repeated harassment and interference with private property are violations of the law. Step back immediately, or law enforcement will be involved." Karen ignored her, pounding the garage door with her clipboard. "I don't care. This is illegal. You'll be fined." I calmly stepped forward, adjusting my headphones so I could still hear the music clearly. "Karen, your complaints are baseless. Everything here is legal. If you continue to harass me, I will document it and involve the authorities." Her son whispered, "Mom, I think we're in trouble." Determined to escalate her antics, Karen attempted to reach the speakers and turn the volume down herself. I smiled, signaling to Lisa to step aside slightly while I demonstrated a more humorous approach. I grabbed a few extra speakers and strategically increased the volume slightly, synchronizing with a classic rock anthem that made the garage walls vibrate. The sound was loud, but perfectly legal. The police arrived a few minutes later, responding to Karen's call. Upon entering the garage, the officers were immediately caught up in the infectious energy of the music. One officer raised an eyebrow, then began subtly tapping his foot. Another grinned and started bobbing his head. "This is loud," the lead officer said, "but completely within legal limits." Karen's jaw dropped. "But I called the police. You have to—" The officer shook his head. "Ma'am, everything here is within legal limits. You are harassing the property owner, and any continued interference could result in a citation for harassment." Her son muttered under his breath, clearly embarrassed. "Mom, I told you." Karen stomped her feet, waving her clipboard in frustration, but the officers were unfazed. They began headbanging slightly to the music, clearly amused by the situation. Karen's protests grew more frantic, but they only laughed quietly and reminded her of the property owner's rights. By mid-afternoon, Karen finally stomped off, muttering about fines, HOA rules, and neighborhood codes, leaving her son behind, thoroughly mortified. Neighbors had gathered quietly, watching the scene unfold with a mix of disbelief and amusement. My garage was still humming with music, the volume legally compliant, and the police had confirmed that her complaints were baseless. Peace returned, the garage echoed with classic rock, and Karen's reputation had taken yet another blow. The incident quickly became a neighborhood legend. Entitlement and theatrics may be loud, but they are powerless against preparation, legality, and a little humor. By evening, the music continued to play, the garage full of energy, and Karen had once again been reminded that attempts to assert imaginary authority always backfire. Law, documentation, and calm confidence, not shouting, determine who holds the real power.